Hearings before asking for a 15% rate increase. Find out where you can attend. And students in Southwest Missouri defend international classmates amid visa controversy. KOIM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, Spire seeks approval for a double-digit rate hike. What you need to know about upcoming public hearings. Plus, history repeats in Carterville with a third consecutive election tie. And the city of Joplin launches an effort to improve recycling.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
If you're a Spire gas customer in Missouri, you might soon see an increase in your bill. But first, you're going to get a chance to give your opinion. This is KOIM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The utility company plans to ask the Public Service Commission in Missouri to approve a roughly 15% rate increase, which Spire says would equal about $14 per month for the average residential customer. The increase would begin in the fall of this year. If approved, the utility company says it'll use the funds to help pay for an upgrade to its infrastructure.
Serve 1.2 million customers across the state of Missouri. And really these infrastructure upgrades are to ensure that we're able to provide safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers. So we have a lot of pipeline infrastructure in the ground that delivers gas to our customers, and it needs to be upgraded.
Spire also plans to hold a series of public hearings leading up to the proposed rate increase. City of Joplin plans to hold one at the hearings on June 5th. That'll be at MSSU's Corley Auditorium beginning at 6 p.m. There will also be 2 virtual public hearings scheduled for June 3rd. The first at noon, the second at 6 p.m. For a complete list of all of the public hearing dates as well as access codes for the virtual meetings, just go to our website, KOIMnewsnow.com, where we've provided a link. Election season isn't over for Carterville residents, it seems. At last night's City Council meeting, Carterville officials accepted election results from April 8th. There were 2 ties, however, for City Council seats in Ward 3. A special election will be held April 29th to determine the winner of a 1-year term. The write-in candidates Crystal Buckner and Larry Wald tied for with 1 vote each. For a 2-year term, Cody Franks and Mike Dudley also tied, but Franks was named the winner last night after Dudley bowed out.
We have tentatively scheduled a special election on April the 29th for a write-in for Ward 3, a 1-year term. No one filed for that position, so the actual write-ins count.
This is the 3rd year in a row Carterville has had a tie for a city council race. The Jasper County Clerk confirmed the city is paying just under $800 to hold this year's special election. A court in southeast Kansas sentences a woman for her role in a 2023 murder. Today, a court sentenced Kimberly Thomas Nyberger to more than 10 years in prison for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and obstruction. She had pled guilty as part of a plea deal. Today's sentencing stems from an incident which took place back in 2023. Authorities discovered the abandoned car and body of 23-year-old Dakota Patton in this field in rural Labette County in May of that year. They say Patton died from a gunshot wound. According to court documents, Clint Nybarger was the last known person to see Patton alive, arguing with him at a gas station over a woman. While Patton was missing, Nybarger and Kimberly Thomas got married. They then traveled to Missouri for their honeymoon. Originally, prosecutors had charged Kimberly and husband Clint Nybarger with the first-degree murder of Patton and conspiracy to commit murder. In October of 2024, Clint Nybarger pleaded guilty to an amended charge of second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. While the courts have yet to sentence him, a sentence of 24 years has been recommended. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a great Wednesday for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine, mid-70s for high, 76 was our high. Average high is 69 degrees. We look still pretty good, 66 in Joplin. 68 in Pittsburgh. So we're just not going to drop off too much more tonight. Our southerly winds are going to keep us up. Plus, we're tracking some thunderstorms. These are still a ways away, really from Wichita out through south central Kansas. And a couple of these could be severe, like you do see one severe thunderstorm warning just to the east of Dodge City. Overall, as these storms press east, they're going to behave. Could be a little loud, could get some small hail, maybe a random severe thunderstorm, especially Parsons, Pittsburgh north. But again, overall, these are just going to be pretty good thunderstorms kind of tracking through tonight into Thursday morning. Severe threat Friday. We'll look at that as well here in a bit.
Catch you then. Thanks, Doug. The city of Joplin wants to hear from its residents concerning their recycling experiences. City staff plan to host a booth in front of City Hall at this week's Third Thursday event on Main Street. Residents are invited to drop by the booth and share their experiences, challenges, and ideas about recycling through a brief survey. In addition to this event, the city invites residents to participate in a recycling education and outreach planning open house. That's going to be from 4 to 6 p.m. on May 6th at the Joplin Public Library. City plans to use the information to develop a recycling education and outreach plan to bolster recycling efforts in our area. Just ahead, immigration and the courts.
The Trump administration could be held in criminal contempt over deportations. I'm Erica Brown at the White House with more on the legal battle over President Trump's immigration crackdown.
Plus, reaction after visas are revoked for some international students in southwest Missouri. The Trump administration's immigration policies are running into some legal problems. Erica Brown has details of some of the court battles from the White House.
Two planes carrying more than 200 migrants to El Salvador last month could land the Trump administration in contempt of court. A federal judge Wednesday said he found probable cause to hold contempt hearings for defying his order to turn the planes around. In a 46-page decision, Judge James Boasberg wrote, "The Constitution does not tolerate willful disobedience of judicial orders." The White House says it will appeal the decision.
Present all.
This comes as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth hosted the Salvadoran defense minister at the Pentagon to discuss deportees being housed in one of El Salvador's most infamous prisons. A Maryland father is among those detained in El Salvador. The White House acknowledges he was deported after an administrative error, but insists Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a gang member based on allegations from a confidential informant.
There is never going to be a world in which this is an individual who's going to live a peaceful life in Maryland because he is a foreign terrorist and a MS-13 gang member.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen arrived in El Salvador Wednesday in an attempt to secure Abrego Garcia's release. Van Hollen has been documenting the journey on his X account.
I told his wife and his family I would do everything possible to bring him home, and we're going to keep working at this until we're successful.
Tuesday, a federal judge said she will order the Trump administration to show what steps, if any, it has taken to bring Abrego Garcia back. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration says the Supreme Court ruling does not apply to El Salvador's president. And he said this week he has no plans to send Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. Student visas are being pulled across the United States, sending international students back to their home countries. As Reagan DeTrollo reports, one student from Drury University in Springfield has already been sent back, and 6 students from Missouri State in Springfield just had their visas revoked.
No one's entitled to a student visa. The press covers student visas like there's some sort of birthright. No, a student visa is like me inviting you into my home.
As a student, it makes me feel very angry and upset for the students that are being taken away because they don't deserve that.
Missouri State student Michelle Mysick says she was appalled when she heard about her fellow college students' visas getting revoked.
We're all Bears, we're all supposed to be a family, so why are you trying to pull away that family?
Other students like James Morrison say it's unfair to the international students who worked so hard to get a student visa in the first place.
If you want to better your life, you should feel like America can do that for you. And I feel like what we're doing is we're setting a precedent that, hey, if you're not American, don't be here. And I think that's like the worst thing we can be doing.
Students like Mysick and Morrison say they want their university to support its international student body during this time of transitioning.
Why don't you stand up and be their voice? Because something they fought so hard for is just being ripped away from them.
The students stress that not everyone is so lucky to get an education here in the U.S.
We have the privilege of doing this, and for them, they have to jump through these hurdles, and now it's like, here's this brick wall, and you know, that sucks.
While Mysick and Morrison get to continue attending classes, there are others that no longer have that luxury.
They deserve to be here. They deserve to better their education and their lives.
No one from MSU or Drury's administration agreed to be interviewed on camera, but Drury did provide a statement saying it's supporting its one student deported so they can complete their degree and graduate on time. Also in a statement, Missouri State says it's encouraging its 6 students impacted to seek legal counsel. The Trump administration has filed a civil lawsuit against Maine over its decision to allow transgender athletes to participate in women's sports. Attorney General Pam Bondi looked to draw attention to the issue today with a news conference accusing Maine's Education Department of violating Title IX and putting girls who compete in high school competitive sports at risk of physical injury. 2 months ago, President Trump and Maine's Democratic Governor Janet Mills had a tense exchange at the White House where the president threatened to pull the state's federal funding if it didn't comply with the executive order on the issue. A little later, those dusty corners won't clean themselves. A Joplin expert shares some spring cleaning secrets for a spotless home.
And we're going to get some springtime thunderstorms over the next couple days. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it turned out to be a great Wednesday for us today. Warmer, mid-70s for highs. Kind of windy. We had winds gusting 20 to 30, and these will increase even more as we go into the daytime hours on your Thursday. It looks great outside right now. Great shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Tower Cam just to the west of Seneca, Missouri. So right about there, sitting at 69 in Miami, 70 in Veneta, Chanute 69. We have 67 in Neosho. Still these southerly winds kind of kicking in 10 to 12-ish. We're getting some gusts upwards of about 20 to 25, but these will actually keep our temperatures up a bit as we go through the overnight hours. And look at the winds tomorrow, they get worse. Gusts 40, upwards to 45. They stay strong all night long tomorrow night. Still booking in here on Friday, and then once a cold front slides in Friday afternoon, that's when the winds will start to calm down just a bit. But with this front, look at the yellow. We have a low severe threat. I do think this is going to shift farther south. Looking at the latest data, I really think severe threat's going to be Pittsburgh south, maybe Joplin south, so trending a little bit farther south over the past 12 hours or so. Had a couple little sprinkles work through, but we're tracking this line or cluster of storms out across south central Kansas. Most of these have been behaving, meaning strong thunderstorms, small hail. We've had a couple random severe thunderstorm warnings, and when they work in later on tonight, we can't rule out 1 or 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, but I mainly think they're just going to be strong thunderstorms, developing storm system right behind it. Let me walk you through time. Let's go to about midnight. The storm's starting to get into Yates Center, Fredonia, Neodesha again. Some stronger ones, mainly behaving, tracking mainly our northern counties. So let's say Pittsburgh, Parsons, Lamar points north. A few could skirt in a little bit farther south. So starting the day on Thursday with a few hit and miss storms. As we go through the morning hours, mid 70s by noon, and most of us mid 80s during the afternoon. Warm, very windy. We don't drop off much by Friday morning. Clouds increase through the day on Friday, but still upper 70s to near 80. So let's go into Friday afternoon. Here's 4:30. Scattered thunderstorms ahead of the cold front. Whatever does develop will have the potential for large hail and gusty winds. But here's the wind shift line. So the front dropping in, and most of these storms are post-frontal or behind the front, so elevated, so hail makers, but not really big-time severe thunderstorms. I think our biggest threat here is going to be hail, gusty winds, and heavy amounts of rain, periods of showers and thunderstorms rotating through. All right, on your Thursday, 63 to start, 74 by noon, high temp 83. Let's go into your weekend. So we have rounds of those storms Saturday morning, kind of shifting out late Saturday, severe threat mainly to our south on Saturday. We just get good old thunderstorms. And then here we go again. Here's Easter morning. Bands of showers and thunderstorms pushing through, mainly in the morning hours, but it does look like a very rainy Easter start. So the only severe threat I really see is on Friday evening, southern half of the region. Everybody else, showers and thunderstorms throughout the weekend. A little bit cooler as we head into the weekend. Dry out Monday and right back to the rain the middle of next week.
So not likely anything severe, but certainly a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Few days.
Yes.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, 3 of our local high schools host signing ceremonies for their student athletes. And Galena and Colgan softball square off in a doubleheader. John Dales has those stories and more. It's coming up next in sports.
It's a big day for several of our local athletes across the 4 states as they sign national letters of intent to play their sport at the next level. And we start at Northeast High School in Arma, where Addison Zamora signs with Monmouth College, located in Western Illinois. She's been a standout in the pool for the Vikings. Zamora will join Monmouth's swim team. She is just the second student athlete in Northeast High School history to swim at the collegiate level.
Got to learn the campus, get to meet all the swimmers that I would be swimming alongside. They have an amazing political science program, which I'm interested in, and I can also study abroad. So it kind of just checks everything off my list that I wanted. So it's kind of just my dream school.
Meanwhile, at Labette County High School, Bethany Barger signs her national letter of intent. She's keeping her talents right here in southeast Kansas. She's headed to Neosho County Community College for cross country and track.
When I went and I toured there, the coach was really nice. He actually knows my current coach now. So, I don't know, I just kind of felt like home. That's why I ended up choosing where I chose.
Over to Missouri at Webb City High School, a couple of Cardinal seniors signed this afternoon as well. Colden Hood will play soccer at South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. Kira Long, she signs with North Central Missouri College for basketball.
Coach Croy contacted me a while back and I went on a visit, and then I had my injury and she was still very confident after that. Their digital media program and their education program was the seal the deal for me.
Obviously just a ton of support, so never being negative, always supporting me, whether that be emotionally or physically, just always being there for me and pushing me to be my best.
And now to Kansas High School softball. Galena hosts Colgan for a CNC doubleheader. Game 1, 5th inning. Galena up 4-1, but Colgan's Caroline Imhoff smacks this one to deep left. That drops in, and she is into second with a double. With 2 outs now, Lauren O'Brien brings her home with a single that gets through the infield. It's now 4-2 Bulldogs. Bottom of the frame, runner on first. Mackenzie New drives one all the way to the wall in right center. She coasts into second easily. They'd score on an RBI ground out. Next up, Jordan Beauchamp skies one on the infield. This will drop, and another run comes home. Galena up 6-2. Same inning, runner on third now. Michaela Matthews finds the hole for a single. Bulldogs up 8-2. They beat the Lady Panthers 8-6 in game 1, but Colgan wins the second contest 14-3. Now, tonight marks our first edition of Diamond Deep Dive here on KOAM. Every Wednesday night during the baseball season, I'll give you the latest on the Royals and Cardinals, who play several games on our airwaves this year. We'll start with the Redbirds, who take care of the Astros. Final score 4-1 at home this afternoon. This win gives St. Louis the series victory over Houston, and that makes it 3 series in a row the Cardinals have won. Lars Nootbaar, you just saw it. He had the highlight of the game with a 3-run homer, and Thomas Saggese, he continues his red-hot start to the year at the plate. He has 2 hits today, including an RBI double. Now, it's obviously very early in the year, but the NL Central, right now, things are tight, especially at the top. The Cardinals they're in 4th place with a 9-9 record, but only a game and a half behind the first place Cubs. Meanwhile, tonight the Royals, they're on the receiving end of a series sweep. They fall to the Yankees, final score 4-3, which makes it now 5 losses in the last 6 times out for Kansas City. As we take a look at the standings in the American League Central, the Royals, they're in 3rd place right now with an 8-11 record. They're 2.5 games behind the Tigers, who are in 1st. And yeah, it just seems like the Yankees have had the Royals number. They sweep them now, and if you remember back to October, they knocked them out of the playoffs too.
That's right. The Yankees have had the number of an awful lot of teams over the years, it seems. We'll be right back. Spring is in the air, and so is the urge to clean, for, well, some people anyway. According to the American Cleaning Institute, 80% of Americans take part in spring cleaning each year. To help you tackle the dust and the clutter and the overall grime, we caught up with Drew's cleaning crew in Joplin for their top tips on keeping your home looking spotless.
We live in Missouri and the pollen's high, so people love to have their windows open, and when that happens, then the pollen comes in, and so does the dirt and the dust, and I just put an extra time on the counters and are vacuuming your furniture, maybe cleaning your curtains, and even your bedding.
The American Cleaning Institute says hard-to-reach places top the most dreaded things to clean list. That makes sense, I guess. I guess people will have an opportunity to stay inside and do some spring cleaning in the coming days. It might be too wet to be outside.
A few random thunderstorms for us after midnight tonight. 83 for us tomorrow. Warm and windy, so tomorrow's going to mainly be dry. Some thunderstorms, strong ones, by Friday evening. Saturday's pretty much a wash. And then even the first half of Easter, pretty much a wash as well.
That's too bad. It might mean people are going to have to change their Easter plans a bit. Final sports note.
Pittsburgh State baseball is back in the top 25 today. The Gorillas are ranked number 19 in the country. We'll see them tomorrow at home against Washburn.
Look forward to that. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.